Platforms. We are live on Spice FM as well in Kabwe, that is on 91.1, covering Central Province. So is you like, and this is for everyone. Look out for our live feed on our Facebook page, that's 5FM Radio Zambia, and follow our conversation. Leave us a comment. We would love to hear from you. Our guest this morning, before I introduce our guest, let me say that I'm your host, Zakaria Banda. Our guest is a senior member of the Tonse Alliance, and of course, this is no other than Madam Mumbi Phiri. It's a pleasure to have you. We haven't spoken in a long time. Good to see you.
Thank you. Yes, indeed. We haven't spoken as in the studio for a very long
Indeed,
time.
indeed.
But I'm a regular caller.
Of course.
And everybody's asking that, where have you been?
Yeah.
Problem, you know, when we went to Eastern Province,
That is on a campaign trail?
Yes, on a campaign trail.
Right.
The Eastern Province trip, which we were stopped to go ahead in Chipata, I came back, and unfortunately, one of my granddaughter, 13-year-old Luyando Sakeni, got sick. They live in Kabwe, and they were referred from Kabwe Children's Hospital to UTH. So she was in intensive care unit for weeks, and unfortunately, she passed away on Monday last week, and we buried in Kabwe on Thursday. That's why you didn't see me in the campaign trail. And I would like to say thank you, especially to the radio callers, you, the journalists, those who knew were encouraging me. Some could come and see me at home. And when she died, the radio callers in Kabwe, they were there with me. The provincial leadership of Tonse Pamozi Alliance, Bachala, Babili Sichamba, and everybody else, thank you so much. You made my burden lighter with your presence.
And as 5FM, we do extend our sincere condolences to you and your family.
Thank you so much.
So when are you back on the campaign trail? Is this the beginning?
Yes, this is the beginning. This is the beginning. From here, I'm going to join them in Chongwe.
Yeah.
Then we'll proceed. We'll go on. It's not easy.
Yeah. That and the big question that President Hakainde Hichilema is asking is, what do they want to come and do that they didn't do? And in fact, don't allow them back, because they've just changed clothing. They are the same characters. They are the same violent, corrupt, and of course, a party or a group of individuals that have not changed since we took them out of power. It's a big question. Why do you want to come back?
You know, when you look at when President Hakainde is opening his mouth and talking about corruption, the violence, the people of Zambia in the 5 years are able to judge. They're able to judge who is really violent. And me, I thank God, you know, the way things work. Atukwata ligari ya iriaba ikata. Because that's what they were doing. Vale fuala ligari ya Yesu, olo bale abantu. Nomba apa bale munekera. Bale ruanabe beka. Who is violent? And corruption. Who is corrupt? Because we have seen Bashta Amatrucks containers, 65 containers. Baya yani kapaka suba. Who are in charge of that ministry just transfer to another ministry? Whom can you say is corrupt? Who has sent the 80,000 to India by mistake? And why haven't they taken it back if genuinely it was sent by mistake? How do you have, who is corrupt? How can you have a money in the reserves? The experience I had when my grandchild was sick. At the end of the day, you can have money, but before you are evacuated or you are in a private hospital, if the worst come to the worst, they take you to UTH. Syringe abantu bareshita. Drip yakubikira bwame. Some instances, even drip. The lab yaku UTH katuishinga ira bomba because you go and take your basendama specimen mwatwala ku private lab. Wili abampepina kulusaka trust. How many poor people can afford? I lost my daughter in the cancer hospital last year. Can you believe when the cancer reaches a certain stage, when you're dying, the pain is all over, they're supposed to give you a drug called morphine. That time, that drug was not there. I have my brother-in-law who is going chemo at UTH. The drugs are costing ngamwama chemist yambi 9,000. Kumbi 7,000. Ngamwashuka mwala isange yo drug pa 2,500. Where are the drugs? Look at him. When he's talking, he goes to Petauke. Efo nandira natiba kainde. Fidafi nebena baimona bale bomfi obukadi with a strong voice. Tabaishibati, even his appointees badi basula. Baya kupeta uke baya landa. I'm going to direct FRA to sell maize. The moisture content is low. Ule landa padi corruption nashan. Baisa basusha ba FRA. Because when the president speaks, that's policy. Look at the person who goes to one region. Bushaba nababu tabafu moko kwineku region. He himself tabafu moko kwineku region. Aba kashibabu tabafu moko kwineku region. Tabeka la muno mulusaka. Kwa dibo watara bomapo. You go to a region and you instill fear in those people. Ukubo mfio bufi. Mr. Hakainde Hichilema is not the right person to talk about corruption in short. And violence. Look at him. When he was coming into power, he was using the name of Chibulu Mapens, Lawrence Banda, a person whom I was even arrested over, to win those elections. So Abantu, who is more corrupt, corrupting people's minds, Chibulu Mapens? Corrupting the minds of the people. I was arrested. I spent 129 days. My father, but you keep quiet. Do you know that there is a woman who is a heroine? Mulamonana everywhere was arrested for 429 days. Who does that? He was doing that to corrupt the minds of the people. But people have realized no kubasula na babasula. Because the people have known that he's a liar. In Jinchi Senga's words, he's a liar. There's nothing he says which comes forth.
But then the people of Zambia are questioning the intention of the Tonse Alliance to come back and take over government. Is merely because, and what has been mostly highlighted, is that you want to come back and rescue colleagues who are in prison. You have nothing that you are offering that Zambians should decide or make a decision to have Tonse Alliance rule us, other than the fact that your tone sounds vengeful.
Zach, you are a journalist and a very qualified journalist, and you started your journalism when you were young. Are you telling me kufika na lero tawaimona manifesto ya Batonse? We have a manifesto. And truly so.
But mu prison, it has been proven that if you don't support UPND, they will arrest you. Area ama arbitrary arrests. Eyo balela ndapo ba Brian Mundubile na ba Makebizolo. Can somebody explain to me how Chirufya Tayari has come back to the country? Can anybody tell me? And so far, I haven't heard anywhere where he has been arrested. But he was on a wanted list. They even wanted to use Interpol to arrest him. Am I telling a lie or that's true? His cases are still in court. Under which law? Inene ulipano, Zach. I was arrested. And I've talked these things before. Iwo alenje bati ba nedi muti kuti baisa ku prison amukumona ine opposition akainde teshibe. She came to visit me. Ba deputy SG Gertrude Imenda kuti baisa mukumona ine akainde teshibe. She came there twice. And I got irritated. Even the provincial minister Babangweta came to see me and I refused to come out. Because that was my right. Now, can anybody from UPND explain to us, ekweba trafina na lela ndadionse, busha UPND ni River Jordan, ngawaba joina na nguatuka ichitumbi chabalungu, na nguatuka wasalula bamkamfuiru wafidia tayari achita, inshuaba their friend. That's why people are cautioning, and now people can truly see that those arrests, those who are in prison, they are political prisoners. It has been confirmed. Manifesto tualikwata. And if what we promise people from the time yabasata, balungu, definitely promise Mundubile to be done.
Which
Not if ibale chitabena.
Which is?
Let me, I'm still coming. There's so many examples I'll give. There are so many projects which the PF left. Because I used to move around with the former president. There is a boarding school in Ikelengi. Up to today, anybody should challenge me. It hasn't finished. The Jimbe Road, it was started by the PF. Has it been done? It hasn't. If we were PF, to adisangire misebo, Mongu Kalabo Road, we finished what MMD left. And that's the way a government is supposed to work, because there is continuation in government. You can't leave projects which the previous government left. Just go to Ndola Airport. There are white elephants there. Some infrastructures haven't been completed. Mumona abantu ku Western Province, idya Ikelengi Road. Impassable. Umusebo ole ya kuzambezi. We'll continue. We started the industrialization. Idiabaya isula pineapple. Yes, bari chitabuino. It was started by PF. And we identified the outgrower scheme farmers. Similarly, in Central Province, we identified the outgrowers in cassava. There was supposed to be a plant in Chitambo for processing of cassava, because we realized that everything we buy, let us start producing our own. Kukatetoko, we identified farmers wama fruits. There was supposed to be an industry to produce fruits. Since these people, they don't see the importance, we'll come back and finish them.
It's not, I don't think it's about not seeing the importance, because again, what I know is that on infrastructure development, for example, suspension of projects was done actually under your government, because then it was a situation, and I think there was a pronouncement that all projects that are above 80% can be finished, but all those that are below 80% should be suspended, which is only right, because then we want to understand that that decision that your government at the time made was based on the fact that we got highly indebted as a country. And by that, it was only right that this government too needed to approach infrastructure development with caution, considering we had debt to pay back, which under your government even defaulted.
I'm so grateful the way you have elaborated. But this same government is boasting that they have 6.5 in reserves. PF left 3.1 reserve and which they are not even acknowledging. They can even, yesterday I was listening to somebody on a certain radio who could even lie that there was no money in the reserves. And Zach, when you talk like that, who has borrowed more? How much has UPND borrowed in the 5 years which they have been in power compared to PF? And when you talk about debt, it's this government, a UPND government, which was saying, by President, and let me quote him, he said, why are you wasting money on Lazard to come and restructure this debt? That debt, I can even restructure it myself. He offered himself. Now ask yourself, why hasn't he managed to offer his services to restructure the debt? He has continued with the same company, Lazard, which was condemning. And up to today, and you know, with their lies, you remember they came back, Basenda, Naba iche, our cream de cream, ba DK, Naba teacher, Babokutuwekesha Mununipi, and I don't know why this is being done. Ukula bonfiaba nabe skulu kula chita line up for President Akainde. Does he miss what was happening in Unipi because they used to make him line up? That's why he wants to bring it back. Up to today, as we speak, the debt hasn't been restructured. And that's the truth. We were not the only country which defaulted. There were so many countries because of COVID. And that's how we were even given money when in our reserve we had 2.9. That money which we were given, that's what boosted to 3 point something. So there's no truth in Angubane under debt. They haven't restructured. And if they are boasting that they have 6.5 in the reserves, they could have finished those projects. Then, can you call development Mulepanga ama 1x3 classroom blocks when other countries are advancing? 1x3 classroom block, and you're celebrating. You leave a huge infrastructure like Irande Pera example ya kuikeleng. And that, really pains me because there was a time I went there and I had a meeting at that same place. And you can say we are developing. Mwaya pangama toilet. Mwaya pangama toilet. Can you say we are developing? Elama toilet oba firwa. No kupuisha. They don't work. Elama toilet akuchi mwemu up to today. What infrastructure development has UPND done? When they are boasting to say we are making the Ndola, Lusaka Ndola dual carriageway, which was better. Iba to become using our own money. Ero mwabula ama toll gates, na bamba nokulira koyambi. Ama foreigners aba shaisa nendalama. Babo mfie ndalama, you contribute to NAPSA. I was contributing to NAPSA. Ero mwaba pera at 25 years. And they did that without going through parliament. We can clap for them. Not for me. I can't clap for them. And that's why they have fear. They want to do anything in Mingalato because they know that they have done a lot of wrong things. A lot of wrong things. Basata could come on this radio station. In fact, in Kono radio station, Valentine. At Mweba Sambirira, you are not good people. We are cowards. And it's sad that the educated people in this country have used that, especially in this regime, because to disadvantage Zambians. And we can hear through my thick reports in Dalama Shire Fuma Mchalo, Shire Akuma offshore accounts. How can you explain somebody educated from ZESCO sending money by mistake to China? Can you believe that? Fyamulisa mfwe. In our language turandati, fyamunda, if ilala, fyamunda yanama, everything will be brought to light one day.
Now, Tonsa Alliance members, including, I think, presidential candidate, and I remember that I recently hosted the running mate, in this case, the Leonard Makebi Zulu, and also even the chairman in charge of finance, Mtotweka Fire, has on several occasions mentioned that CDF is simply money that has been removed from line ministries. For example, Ministry of Health. It is mandated to be the one to buy ambulances, but that money that was budgeted and allocated to the ministry has been taken to what is called CDF, or increased CDF. And several other ministries, including Home Affairs for, police vehicles. And this revelation, to me, has continued to seem that under what circumstance Tonsa Alliance is poised to reverse this increased CDF issue, because of your insistence on saying it's just money that has been removed from line ministries. We'll take it back and let the individual ministries carry out their duties.
You're talking to somebody who is very conversant with this CDF. When I was elected in 2006, I also worked as a councillor for Monali. From the 1.5 CDF which they talk about, and do you know where we got this concept of CDF, where MMD got the concept from? It was gotten from Kenya. They are the ones who were using CDF, and because it was a good program, it was copied to here. In the 1.6 million CDF, are you aware that it was during my time when the road from Mother Teresa to PHI was constructed? Are you aware that the road from roundabout Yapamunadi to Mutumbi Cemetery, that's when it was constructed? Are you aware that yari amasuwa pondi yari yabakulia ku Kaunda Square? It was in my time that they were constructed. And do you know why? When I was at Kablonga Girls, I used to live in Chamba Valley. Kudia kunuma ya hybrid pottery. And tuwale pita kuda kumasuwa. And what we used to do, ngana fifua sakufule sapatone sokoshi. Mule pita mumafia. I don't even know how I didn't get sick. That other road which passes kudia kulasti kudia ukwalefwa sasa nefima toilets kuzafu kudia, it was constructed using this same CDF. The road ya kugadenya kudia ku Avondale, we use the CDF. I found my late sister Edith Nawakwe, may her soul rest in peace, had started constructing the police post iya baku Chadley. Kuda kunuma, I finished using that same CDF. If you go to Chainda Clinic, there is a maternity part of it. We started from the ground to the top. We finished. Now, ask by UPND, those who were in offices, let them show you from the 40 million what they have done with that money. And when we speak, because we know how that CDF was working, from the components, how we managed to do that, it was being added from the relevant ministries. From the Ministry of Health, they add to that CDF. So since it's a concept which MMD are the ones who started it, by UPND tawafu anokulanda, but they are the ones who came with this concept. But because bena babufi, ba propaganda, bafo kuipanga, kwa teba chipangire, the money has increased. And we cannot change and go back. government continues, whether ngatapadi UPND or what, the policies are supposed to be followed. To answer your question, we'll continue with the CDF and we'll add more, but it will be done in a right way. Not CDF. Me, I couldn't believe. There's a constituency in Ndola Rural where a wife to the member of parliament got a loan. And I heard on the floor of parliament, it was being, defended. Na ngufeta wakwatama morals. Kutu amkusenda loan ya CDF when there are a lot of people who are suffering. Muka MP mulume obe no kufolala isha parliament. Are they morals in that? So I think I've answered you. CDF will continue. Tayari sana ba UPND. Aba ayambi the concept. And me, I understand the concept very well. Remember where it came from. I was High Commissioner there. And I took interest to see how they do it. In fact, in Kenya, 40 million ya chepa. I think ngamwabika into Zambia and Kwacharang for 500 million. Yadifika Kenya. So they shouldn't lie that it's them. But when folk ipanga, and yet, taimoneka nopo ingira. Point at one thing. Mule beba ngabaisa badelanda. He has worked. Tell them, itemize what the president or what the CDF has done. They will just tell you 1x3 classroom block. Is that what we want in this century? 1x3 classroom block, and then we are satisfied.
Of course, again, your campaign trail has brought out quite a lot, conversations. I mean, just yesterday I was seeing a campaign trail where I think the language that you are speaking to most Zambians out there is you are trashing the importance of inflation where it is today, the importance of GDP where it is today. All these are being trashed as not achievements simply because you are asking people questions. Have you ever seen inflation? Have you ever consumed inflation? Have you eaten GDP? I mean, you can't base your campaign in such a way. This time and age.
Let me tell you.
We want to hear how best you will better the inflation or GDP from current to anywhere better.
GDP, inflation, in the UNIP time, I was young. I was born after independence, long after independence. Even when the Minister of Finance, Ngabale Chita, present budget in that house, they were not using big words. A common person, my mother is still alive, she's at 80, will she understand the GDP? Now inflation, will she understand that? When it's not tangible to what affects her life. When you are talking about GDP and inflation, for example, just here in Lusaka, bread basket for a family of 5 is costing 12,000 plus. Who is getting that money? Because even the teachers, the nurses whom they talk about all the time, they don't get that much. I was touched. In fact, now there are 2 nurses. That nurse who had to go to Ida TV. Pantuna Luala. Kalechita afford her own medication. A caregiver can't afford her own medication. Ubomba mchipatala, which confirms that there is no medicine. Erolela ndapali GDP na inflation. Ngaili sensible inflation na GDP abantu abalayumfwa. Kuti bayumfwa shani inflation nangu imisebo. Me, I live in Chongwe. How long did it take me to come from Chongwe, which is supposed to take me about 15 minutes with the type of vehicle I drive? Yansendera 1 hour 30 minutes. Ngamamona ile misebo bale panga. Before by PF to adequate policy yakwe but 20% of every road construction should go to a Zambian. Ababa pela bazaki mwisa mupiteko kuna mwalasanga ule enshafe grade. They are not Zambians. Ero mule randa padi inflation na GDP when people can't attest to that they are benefiting. That's why we are talking like that. GDP, inflation, ili kuri banani kane abatuma indalama ku offshore account ebare yumfa effect. Do you know that where we are, the gap between the rich and the poor is so high? Middle class na ifwa. Kurifye high class na low. Olo mule randa padi GDP. Using vizungu in JJ's language, vitari, which people are not benefiting. Use simple English. Explain to the people and explain how they are benefiting. If they are benefiting, they will agree with you. But if they are not able to eat 3 times a day, they will not agree with you. Muzasa vezeza vizungu vitari to mean nothing.
Now, you are a seasoned politician, madam, and you know politics is about numbers. And numbers, even at parliamentary level, are important. I mean, so far, over 70 constituencies, you have no candidates whatsoever. How do you then expect to win this election? And there's a lot of talk about landslide. How is a landslide achievable with that deficit?
Zach, it was at this radio station where I told you that Plan B is there. And I was glad when the running mate, Makeb, was here.
Oh, you were listening?
Yeah, I was listening. Did I tell a lie? I told you that the person who is going to take over, my dear Zach, didn't I say that?
You did.
Busheba akainde bari ingene na Mundubire. Mundubire is 2 years younger than me. I said it because I knew what we were doing. When you are dealing na abantu abamingalato, should we review filofine njishire pano tampo kuchita review ama secrets? What we have done. Kubonfye mingalato. Do you know that even when they went to file in, people didn't know what was going to happen? I was the first one who was at Mulungushi. And when some people saw Makebi Zuru na Mundubire Pamo, they thought Makebi has gone to escort Mundubire to fight in. Because they had the slot on Thursday. It just happened there. And then, so that landslide is coming. And don't even worry about those 70. To Adibonfye Mingalato, we have candidates there. And mark my words. And I can't go further than that. And look at the provinces where they are presuming that we haven't filed in. You know where they are. Where they even killed one of them, where even our own person was killed. But have you seen? They have tried to buy those people. They have failed. Don't worry. We have our presence there. That I can assure you.
When there's a lot of talk around how you, and this, sadly, I have to bring it up. There's quite a lot of talk that had President Edgar Lungu, then may his soul rest in peace, not come back to politics, he could have been alive. But it's people around him that did not care. And one prominent person coming out is you, because you were publicly encouraging late President Lungu to come back.
And I'm not ashamed. Yes, I encouraged him to come back. But is it me who stopped him from going to the hospital? President Edgar Lungu had an ailment. Himself said it. You remember when he collapsed? He went to South Africa, and when he came back, he revealed himself that I've come back. I'm much better. When he came out of power, how many times was he blocked to go and get medical attention? And finally, let me, maybe for those who don't know, do you know that President Edgar Lungu traveled to South Africa the day I was released from prison in Kawambwa. And if you remember very well, when I sent an SOS by Bayui, Bapoke Nkalata from Director of Public Prosecution, but we can't prosecute this case. Bayui Bafisa Nkalata for 3 days. I called President Lungu's phone. I sent a voice note to tell him why. I was asking, do these people want to kill me? And he played it on his page. They released me in the morning, in the afternoon, in a dramatic way. That's how we went to South Africa. The person who even gave him that passage was fired. This is in the public domain. So how can somebody blame Mumbi Phiri because it's Mumbi Phiri who told him to come out? And President Edgar Lungu himself, he even said, I'm ready. I'm prepared for whatever will come my way. And he did that because he loved the people of Zambia. He saw that the people of Zambia were being taken in the trench. How can a normal person deny his fellow to go and get medical attention? As if that's not enough. Are you happy with the strange things which have started happening in our country? Where you can go and steal a body. The first body to be stolen was President Edgar Lungu's body. A post-mortem was conducted without the presence of his relatives. Who does that? Is that normal? In a country, even uko abafye amashiru, they can't do that. The second person I've heard that they have conducted a post-mortem on is that guy ba family bakwe barerira ulio baipe umulandu wakulisha fyolwimbo mundubire na makebi bengire. You have heard of the person who has been killed. At now bari chita conduct post-mortem without ama relatives. And ama relatives now bakanokuya mukushika. I don't know if they're buried. I was seeing that yesterday. Are those normal things which are happening in our country? Bazaki mwaisafye, me, I'm not your relative, I'm even your mother. Nangumulea ku post-mortem, I lost my son, yadiapo ku post-mortem. Eruafiroa kawambwa. You sit as a family. You even look at the age, uingachita present, you just, imwa bazaki apo mperere nangu amubaba nakashi. Tati mwisa mchite post-mortem yandi, because I'm your mother. My body is completely naked. Kusara komu kalamba parine. Who did the post-mortem? Who was the witness? Kuli Lungu, aba kuruna pari akainde. Who was present there? And when we are talking about morals and principles, is that normal? Do you know that Banevas Mumba is my uncle, my blood uncle? He can even open his mouth and say things against that, honestly. Yama, beniko serious, be real. Mule to sebanya. Because that's not normal. Naba idem kuchita witness nani kane post-mortem yaba Lungu alabadi shama. Because irishiku. Even biblically, uliomwana uatambire ba wishina abakolwa ali uatipwa mu Bible. Those are not normal things which are happening. And I don't regret, and I'm glad that plan B is going to work.
Are you happy with the political environment so far? I mean, you are conducting your campaigns peacefully. You are not experiencing anything unusual. Should you lose an election, will you take the result?
Are we conducting our elections in the normal?
Your campaigns?
They're using the police. Because abantu babo tabakweta abantu. Nina nuingesa mkuchita ifi abupuwa kumaradi ya diaba. Fila nesingare fokufu. Baka pokolobo balebo mfia. And it's sad. Baka pokola be professional. And eyaba civil servant. ba Mundubire baleera ndapo ama civil servant ababanga tabukawana. Have you ever seen in the history of Zambia a PS, a civil servant, behaving like Tabokawana? Have you ever seen in the history of our country a civil servant like Udia wa kumuchingo wa fuerena digari areshana na pamusebo? Au kwena babantu na abatumpa. Kabare ya kutumpa kuri. Civil servant.
You must have set an example under your leadership or under your regime.
Show me one PS who was behaving like Tabokawan, or one civil servant who was behaving like that civil servant from Muchingo Alesha na Pamsebo. Give me one. Ukukutumpa. Mwapanga abantu kwati fipuba. Kwati bonse mafontini. It's stipulated. And Tabokawanare asuka no kwasuka at there is nowhere in the constitution where I'm not allowed to campaign. Ngawampera kwa an example.
What was Ambassador Emmanuel, what was Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba doing 3 months before 2021 election in Zambia and very much at campaign podiums?
Where? I never saw him at
he was at Mulungushi, and I think you remember that during the virtual campaigns that you conducted then as Patriotic Front, he was very much around.
No.
And the questions now are how different is Andrew Banda from Emmanuel?
Me, you know that I'm a very sincere person. Me, when I went for a virtual meeting, I didn't see Emmanuel Mwamba there. And if you remember very well, I was in the presidential campaign team. So I can't attest to something I didn't see. But whether Emmanuel Mwamba did something wrong, it's not right that another person should do a same wrong thing. Because Mumbi Phiri na inyera wira na ine engineera wire. That's a very bad attitude. We have to be professional and do better. Listen, let me tell you, by UPND, but they understand the policies. It's on your radio station. I know it was on Phoenix Radio. When I called President Hakainde Hichilema, it was on radio. When he was telling people to say, tukaraye nshaifuama moto kama twin cab. Na isa abachita challenge. Baisala, and that is just policy. Genuineness is good. Ama V8 yabashita ya niba PF bashire bashita. Just because we did something wrong, it's not right that the wrong should continue. That's why that's why I'm supporting young people like you to take over, and I've supported that for a long time. We need something new. Not ififi abufontini, ngabaya mbene ku skulu, ngabale extension should affect the country. No. We need a new fresh start. And I'm glad I'm supporting people who are younger than me.
And that's where the bone of contention is, because then they feel that you would want to be back too soon. Zambians don't seem to have forgotten that anyone that belonged to PF and is pushing for an election this time around is seen as someone who has not changed yet.
It's you who is saying that, Zach. Wherever we have gone, people have accepted us. And they're even regretting, they're even telling us to say, if PF was in power, these 5 years which UPND has been there, they have been wasted years. That's what they are telling us. They are regretting. It never happened in the time of PF where a child could get shot in Kankoyo over Mirimio by army. ZNS is army. Zambia army shooting a 27-year-old boy. Man, that's a man, in Masaiti. Zambia army, not any other, not police. Shooting a man in Masaiti over Mirimio. It never happened from UNIP, MMD, PF, where a child again in Mwense was shot over Mirimio. in MMD, in PF, did you ever see people lining up for midi meal? Fyali chitika muli ba UPND. And abantu balelanda tatoa kalabe. So that perception which you have given as an example, it's coming from you, not from the people of Zambia. Go on the ground, they'll tell you what I'm telling you. They regret why PF was removed. Are you aware that that cancer hospital, we even started getting people from outside Zambia? A good example is that Malawan musician, Uria Ubindo. Tamwamu mwene taishire kunanikani ku cancer hospital. PF started making hospitals in regions, big hospitals, like Kulubansenshi, Iraba Chita Abandon. Ino nshitabantu aba ku Northern Province, Luapula, Mchinga, Ngeko Baya. Kalindawalo Hospital in Eastern Province. It has also got a component of cancer. Tabaisula. How do you explain that? Even the infrastructures which were built, JJ Banda was telling us that there are 40 clinics. He was MP there. 40 which haven't been opened. What explanation can you give? Zach.
So do you want, so are you giving confidence that, are you giving Zambians confidence that they should vote for Tonse Alliance and things will be far better than where we are?
Far much better. But we said, we accepted. We are law-abiding citizens. I hope our friends will also accept, but they will have no choice. They will accept.
If you lose an election, are you ready to blame it on the fact that you did not have enough time to speak to Zambians before Parliament was dissolved, especially? Because obviously you were so busy fighting ownership of Patriotic Front in courts.
No. We were not busy fighting that. It's because this government never allowed anybody. Only once Calabar is the one who was allowed to have a rally. They were not allowing. That's why their message is like a broken record. Baya kuradi, bale fokulanda na bantolo bale punda. Yo maps. Mwebandani wamene wakonda badi. Mukonda badi. No. Nyamulani manja. Wala. They're fatigued. Because it's them who are campaigning throughout. That you can't even blame on anybody fighting. That's not true.
This is the Tuesday edition of The Burning Issue here on the Happy World of 5 FM radio on 899 and good for everyone. Remember that we are also live on our partner radio stations and TV station as well. We are live on BMTV on channel 114. And remember, also live on Katete FM, Spice FM in Kabwe. We are live on ZFM in Kapiri, Platinum Radio in Indola, live on Tuta FM in Mansa, Isunga Radio in Sengahio, and not forgetting live on our Facebook page as well. That is on 5FM Radio Zambia. Our guest today is a senior member of the Tonse Alliance in Madam Mumbi Phiri, and we've talked a couple of issues, and what we will now do is take your calls live on 0955 221515. Once again, the number is 0955 221515. Not forgetting, you can also call us on 0761 912493. We have a caller. Let's see if we can pick this one. Good morning. Well, let's see if we can. Well, we lost it, but call us back. Once again, the numbers are 0955 221515 or 0761 912493. Let's see if we can pick this one right now. Good morning. Well, still struggling to get that call, but please call us once again. We'll be grateful to hear from you. And the numbers again, well, there we have it. Good morning.
Good morning, Wazaki.
How are you today?
No, I'm good. General Chongo calling from Kabwe.
General Chongwa from Kabwe, please go ahead.
Mayo Mwinka Shamilimo, Honorable Mumbi Phiri, good morning.
Good morning, Tata wa General Kurishani Kukabwe.
No, kukuli umuliro wa mayo, tulevo mbesha mkwai mwisakamana.
Mkwai.
Icho zeto tela pakubala wa mayo, you are speculating very well. Because ababa UPND echo mule mwena amarali yonse, they are just talking about PF kutila tinibaka volala elio ni mwena but nabaliveta balimu alliance ne mwena, so we don't know imwena ishikalamba ne mwena ishino because baba president wherever he goes is using propaganda and lies ukutila tibushe na kabiri mrefu ya kurusaka bakale mipuma. Ba president what is supposed to do? Bafiri okulanda pali tulia tupamela balekolo bekamumukoshi. Why has he diverted on talking about high cost of living? Zambian people were on load shedding for 4 years. And he told the Zambian people to eat 3 meals a day. Is it happening? 50 kwacha meal, 250 fertilizer. Nama mido meni valelanda pa 17 tukaleta pa 12. Bushe free education na high cost of living, which can come first. Elio echilengeri kutila tina abafi wanokulando mutengo wa mataba because nganaba kwata 6.5 billion mu reserve. Why can't they announce the price? Ushena umurela most content. You need to announce the price of men. Mukulekele shala mayo. Twali ni ala ni NRP mundu vile na kebis because olomwana kaishinga fyapwe fyupo. Wamona tikulie fyabumbere bwino. Kuti wamubwesha because nga ba UPND bali bomba. Nga twalira bako pali PF. Nomba icho tulefa ila PF. They did a lot of things than this government of promises and propaganda and lies. So Mayo, we are geared to require past 18 August the president Ababu Fibakaleaku back to Kufamu because he has destroyed agriculture every time
Thank
on
you.
the podium.
Thank you.
Using propaganda and lies.
Thank you, General.
very
Thank you,
much. Thank
General
you.
Chongo from Kabwe. Thank you for calling. The number you're calling us on is 0955-221515, 0761 912493. That's the number you can call us on if you would like to be part of this conversation. Let's take some more calls on those two numbers. Let me see if we can pick this one. Good morning. Yeah, I seem to be having a challenge with picking these calls, but we'll try again. Call us back. Did you want to respond to?
To General Chongo. Yes, truly. Bazaki nangwine winende papa. Bushe ba UPND nishi valera ndira pali PF. And I wonder how my sister Charity Banda na ba mao sampa bale umfwa na wikala ero balera dapa PF ingwena ningwena taichinja we mwana ingwena bale umfwa shani bale kwe bati woli ingwena uli nabo ero bale umfwa ba shani ba moba na rumango bale imbati chali tobeke chibwato bale kutumfya na wikala PF irina bena nomba why are they always talking about abantu obo bali nabo? Are they possessed nangu badire mbene mbosha PF? Nomba na abamona tifo tubomfeshe another vessel na abafulungana inende mona kwati kufulungana. Yes, ba UPND balera ndati ba PF ni bakabwala 5 years abo bakabwala ala nishita babekatira kabwala ala bushe wakuleka alepitana tekumutwala kukoti mwamukaka. So they have nothing. They have failed to prove abo bene bakabwala ala balela ndapo. Bali filo kuchita prove because bufi na propaganda bale bonfya. And a lot of them ngawa umfwa balera ndanga wabamuna. If you never be baba nadumanga, even if you leave us, you remain poor.
Hello.
Let me take this one. Good morning.
Wazaki mwavukashani.
Twashivuka shani.
Mumbi Phiri muzuwire chwani.
Ande muzuwire chwani wa manjela.
Nizuwire ande. Luitumezi. Vama yoba Mumbi Phiri mulera ndabwino.
Ati vanishi na mkwa?
Vana Angela pa garden.
Oh, okay.
Mulera ndabwino sana. Ba Mumbi Phiri apa change na eko ili. Background ba UPND tabalipo. Ubutushe wetu wapitamo muri 5 years. Ngani mufipatala ni disaster. Ni tamwabe emiti. Na kweto mwana yo bashitira attack. Fyonse nenyere tukumwama groves kushita. Muteko bwashani. Mumone nokubika omutengo wa FRA wa yesterday bali firo okubika just because ubufi bwabo nabo kiramo. Ba president bale bashita insist ati rande no mutengo wa matabati ndala matabakwe. Mwamona barefu abanyengerera amafamazi ko bati babapere amavote. Nombo no mukuru ta kuri tabayimyange. Nanguri mu maululo eri azinaba basuro obufi obakwata ba UPND. Andi apa baleya. Bamayo ndeme banangunga balepita mkomboli muno. Ta pali na ololesha kunga umfofi ati ba UPND abo. Abantu kuingira na mmaya ndata wota tulafwa kubomfa. Ngaba umfofi ati ni candidate wa mundubire. Awe chiretaka. Apa ba mundubire na ba makebi. Bale forming a government. Eto mulemwe na fie nyimbo. Even that day ba charity rumpa mtown pali abengire. Bale shita campaign. Abantu efyo bayimine mtown. Emo nari ne mtown. Ba tumama sagdo ba isa chita attack wa charity rumpa. Elo bale be patita mwa bakadarism. Nanga ule wale ngishaka kalimbeyo bayipaya. Kadarism yin. Bale umafia abantu every day kula umafia abantu. Aba abantu tabakwete message yakwe ba abantu. Bama yoba Mumbi Phiri. Aba abantu naba yakale. Come 13th August. Tabakashinikishe. Efi yabale punda kulwangu ati uwate mwabali ni nani? Elo baba asuka ati no. Uwate mwabali eme amaboko ati wala. Na baya bamayo abantu.
Thank you.
Na totela mulera ndabwino bamayo tulipanu mapamienu. Thank you.
Thank you, Vana Angela, for your contribution. We'll take some more on 0955221515. Also 0761912493. Good morning.
Vazaki.
Mkwae.
Mwanga bwino.
Mwaka bwino.
Tauka chape bwino.
Ati bandani mutumira kuti.
Mumbi Phiri mwanga bwaji.
Na ukabwino bachikubabe mwaukatiani namwe.
Mavuto yamene wanatiletera vantu watiri ma problems mu muziko. Chamene wakwanisa kuchita delivery mu muziko ni njara Mumbi Phiri. Vantu vavutika muno mkomboli. Vavutika. Vonse vinaono. Ni economy ya bwanja mene wanaleta yoti imita ufore. Economy ya imita ufore mundu ngasurvive. Vikwati kusira muno mkomboli na imita ufore. Which is not good. We are talking about wakawala. Wazana mandani. Wakawala ni wati. When we talk about $4 billion fixed report every year. Wazana mandani. Wazana mandani ma 61 container ma switch rice. Wazana mandani. Venzo pasa ma fertilizer ma meda. Tezo kama pamela pale 5 FM. Imwe siani kupasa ma fertilizer ma meda. Apa maji wabwela tikulipe ma fertilizer after wabwela mundu wila tazambo pasa 8 bags of fertilizer.
Hello.
Yes,
yana
very this time around. Amena zama mbela veva kamba ni ndani.
Jamene
wakamba hivi wakaenda kuma Western Province. Ni kuyafia bande mkaenda ku intercity bazamba kumenyana. Ndana na menye wapo. Road block ichi wazaki. Yamene na pangi wapo kuti no batonga vezo menye. Ni kutyuko. Let us be very serious. This is our country. Imagine bakamba pali ngongole. How much is the debt today? $28.9 billion. They find it at $14.5 billion. Ndana amena kongola ndalama zambi. Okay, ndalama zamina wana kongola. That's peleka kuti.
Zikomo bachikubabe.
Walipe. Wanakwela kuvutisa mazambians.
Zikomo.
Hapa manje chimanga chamina wadulisa fertilizer. Baka hiwa na kugote.
Thank you.
Mwasa content inga kanisu kamba plus ya mtengu wa chimanga. Ni kuti kumanje.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Chikubabe. Let me take some more on 0955221515. Remember, you can also call us on 0761912493. Leave us a comment on our Facebook page as well. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm not bad. Thank you for calling. Please share your name and where you're calling us from.
Madam Mumbi Phiri. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. How are you?
I'm okay. This is Kenny,
Okay.
Kenny, where are you calling us from?
Garden Park.
Please go ahead.
Mumbi Phiri. Do
Mukwai.
you still remember Unga Wachundu? Madam Phiri,
Mukwai.
where is the Eurobonds? How did you use the Eurobonds? Madam Phiri, how did we default during the time of during your time? I know for sure that you don't want to be mentioned. Madam Phiri, talking of the mines, who crossed the mines on the copper belt? Madam Phiri, be honest enough. For sure, if we are to talk of violence now, can you compare the way it was during your time? When people now, they are decentralizing development, you were decentralizing Qatarism. In each common, you had chairmen. You left them on the streets, they are wandering, they are graduated, now they are junkies. Whom are we to blame? Who is working on these in Congolese Amenemnasia? You are paying my farmers who are not on payroll. About 200,000 farmers, ghost farmers, ma fertilizer ma menenzo fikira ma both murusaka. Let us be honest, Mama. I like you very much because you got fighting spirit, and a lot of guys, they have learned that no, if we are to be like Mumbi Phiri, next time this country will be okay. Wana kumaskuru now, they are going for Mahala. When education was destroyed, that's why you could see a lot of your members when they call the radio, they are lacking knowledge because you were working on that, capitalizing of that, not giving them proper education so that whatever you say, no one will defend it. Mama Phiri, I think we should be honest. This is politics. We should build this nation for the future of those Wazukulu. I normally saw them on Facebook. You pray with them nicely. Where UPND have managed, please, you must say here they have worked on. This is politics.
Thank you.
Thanks
Ken.
a lot.
Thank you.
Let me respond to
Yes.
him before I lose my mind.
Please do.
But Kenny, it's so sad that you can speak passionately for a long time with no content. Your speaking for a long time is so hollow. Those credits, even Eurobond, have you paid anything towards those? That's why people are saying, lekendi babwererepo ababali mu government kare, because they know how to pay back for those Eurobonds and other loans. Sure, kuti mwalanda free education, I explained very well. Padi CDF, na CDF inoyo mufuirapo, teimo mwayambire. But because you don't want to appreciate what others have done, kanofie imwe. If you're mwachita. Unfortunately, you haven't started anything new. You have just improved on what your friends left. Remember, Bakeni, there was free education before, from grade 1 up to grade 7. And the one who started that policy was Mabumba, who was then Minister of Education. Mule yumfuat kuri feeding program imwe inena adirire bazaki. Me, I started school and I was very small, probably Antashi primary school kumufreda. Na adirire ko feeding program ya muli bakaunda. I started my grade 1 in 1976. Na kwetaka mubiri akanono na ale afe ku domestic na yanwa tea with milk na kampompo. Huh? And it's not that I came from a vulnerable family, no. if you go kumufurira, my father was a big businessman. Very well known. If the buildings are still there, mwali vanava rent nokulya tula lyako. Iyi feeding program bale yumfuira imwe bakeni. Abana bale lya chiboboli. Ichiboboli echo mwingala yumfuirapo. I heard, was it the vice president? Abale kalipira abantu. Abafyashe bale chita contributing kuni cooking oil. I don't know apanga na abaleka. Is that food? Ifi boboli. Mwabula mataba ngatamufishi beba zaks mataba.
I know, but
yes.
I'm waiting for you to finish because my next question is
Let
you
me finish.
didn't even do anything. I mean, to that in that direction.
What are the nutrition value in that ifi boboli?
I mean, but you know what? It's a meal.
Let me finish.
It's a meal that some of these children don't even have at home. Right?
Yeah, why? Because the economy is bad.
But they didn't have. West
They
off,
didn't
probably
have.
They didn't have even under your government.
No.
But if you did something, at least you too should have left a legacy to say, look, we fed the poor.
Okay. There were some more places where poor people, genuinely poor students, na mushatama poor students vale sangwa kui, muma community schools. And those community schools, children were being fed. I can give you a challenge. Mwe pakaringaringa. Padi wa skulu, mi na recent yana pa pakaringaringa. We used to cook food for the children there because those who were in community schools were categorized as vulnerable children. They used to feed. Ichipangano chinadula mutu wayo wani. Ababa UPND baebera abantu eti there will be free education from grade 1 to tertiary. Are you getting that? Bufi babe pere. Feeding program na kare fina mieba muye pakaringa pa Francis Xavier. Ama community schools akare mwali vulnerable people. Not my government schools.
But Madam Mumbi,
let me finish.
Let me challenge you on that.
Listen.
Let me challenge you on that. If you at university level took away meal allowances for students at university level, I doubt if your government had a heart for that grade 1. But
the truth is, they promise that there will be free education from grade 1 up to tertiary. Am I lying? Those are other things you're bringing in. But
they are critical things.
Let me tell you.
Because you started with feeding program and I want us to stick to that feeding program.
Yes, but they promised. Am I lying? That was a campaign promise. That's why I've said, Chipangano, chinadula mutu wayo wani. When you don't fulfill what you have said, then you're a liar. Yes, meal allowance was removed and everything, but they promised. A promise is a promise.
What would you say was the rationale of removing meal allowance?
I wasn't a minister. You know the minister who did that?
Yes.
I cannot give the policy direction. I was on the party. Part of it, the minister, you know her, you can invite her here. She'll come and explain the rationale behind that. You're asking a wrong person, a wrong question. Now, this Bakeni, balandirena pamataba. Me, I'm a farmer.
But you know, ministers don't make decisions entirely by themselves. It's a government.
It's cabinet.
It's cabinet. It's
then
government.
There's a white paper.
And of course, the party, you were deputy secretary general, very key in ensuring that what is good policy must be implemented. What is not, you must have a voice. You didn't have a voice on new allowance removal.
Vazak, we were not operating like UNIP, party and its government. No, we were independent. That's the truth.
But that's not true, because I am aware that the Secretary General of Patriotic Front was part of cabinet meetings.
Yeah, that's a lie.
I am aware.
No. That's a lie.
He had mentioned it himself publicly.
Then he asked, I can even
and
call
the reason was he needed to sit in those meetings to ensure
Bazaki,
that... Let me tell you.
That's a lie.
Well,
because I could act when he was not there. That's a lie, and that's a very big lie, and it's misleading, and I'll tell him, listen, to come, because that's a very big lie. I'll tell him to come on the program.
Let me back up my argument. Let me back up my argument.
Because you're lying.
Let me back up my argument. My argument is, and I heard it, and this must have started under Winter Kabimba, that a party SG sat in cabinet meetings to ensure that everything that is discussed in cabinet meetings is in alignment with the party manifesto.
That's not true. Me, when I became Deputy Secretary General, I was under Davis Chama and Davis Mwira. And these people are still alive. That's why I've challenged you, and I'll tell them to come, because that's a very big lie. I never saw them sitting in cabinet. If Iba Winter was doing that, I wasn't there. That's when I was a diplomat. I don't know. But for Davis Chama and Davis Mwira, that's a lie. They never sat in cabinet. And since Davis Mwira is alive, I'll tell him the next program, whoever you're hosting, you come and talk to him. You can even make it as a news item, because this is a serious lie.
I have his contact. I'll call him after the program.
I'll make sure that I'll call him. That's a very, very serious lie. I never saw him sit in cabinet. And the fact is, when he was not around, I was acting. I never sat in cabinet. That it has to be corrected from his own mouth. Me, I never sat in government. Let me finish now. You are disturbing me. I was saying, I'm a farmer. I'm a farmer. Bare akana fertilizer. Na seed. If of weba ishtila, fertilizer now, decompound, it's at 1,400. Inofo nandi that banan kani bahaka inde ichirema. Aba obo is the people as appointed. Ba basula. Why? The president has given directives to say, when you arrest somebody, within 48 hours, take them to court. Me, I was kept for 18 days in Kawambwa. That's something very serious. It borders on the constitution. No, but because that's why the police do that. Latest in Petauke, he went. You know, when the president speaks, that's policy. Moisture content is low. And he's a big farmer. Ba FRA mwambe ukushita narachita direct bambo ukushita ambata bakuma farmers. Umuntu na chita point. Somebody is under me. Kuti abwera filefi abwere ba FRA mairo. Ba susha ba president ati ba president mulebe pa. The maize still has moisture content. Who does that? Kuba sura kuriaba kateka tibalanda landa fye tabeshi bofo balairanda. Oko njikala ine kuchongwe amnia Nutrifeed. Ngawa amona ma trucks ofo ya leisa kushitisha mataba. And how much are they buying baraba Nutrifeed? Post opo is just by the roadside, greatest road. 4 kwacha 50 ngwe, if you calculate that, it's about 200 and something. Isn't that killing a farmer? But government na bafiro kuchita announce, according to my understanding, the floor price, because this is campaign period. All of our farmer, nga mukababweke shapu ababantu, muishi batfira fine. There were some people who died. Pamulaini bale folk forenda lama kubanki. Firia fine mwalelo kwa it will happen. Firia fine ba miperenda lama mumatch it will happen. The choice is with you. You have tested the leadership of Makebi Zulu was your provincial minister to Eastern Province. Brian Mundure, before he became chief whip, he was a provincial minister, Northern Province. You tested their leadership. You know how much fertilizer you were getting. Tamwa tadira mufolapo fertilizer mwalaya kana. And what he has told you, that's the correct amount of fertilizer that will be given, because we will have to boost agriculture. We are centered, even if Zambia is a landlocked country, to a big market. Congo, Naba Malawi, bengi abafwa ya mataba yesu, because they are non-GMO. So mwema farmer, think twice before tamulazigonga na kambi.
So will you continue with the feeding program as a government? Should you form government?
It will continue, even improved, much better, not if body.
Much better, what is that supposed to mean?
What much better that we improve on it is something which has nutrition value. I mean, a nutritionist, I can't go into details. I'm very good at that. And by the way, you don't know that I'm a teacher.
I know, but let me take this call. Good morning.
Mayo mulishani.
Bwino tata mlishani bapongoshi.
Awuno wino mu bazake mulishani.
Ndife bwino atibani mkwai.
Omulela la King Fred kufuma kuma ditowa.
Mkwai ba King Fred nimbona na message yenu pa Facebook. Mkwai.
Awo tuleba konga ba mayo besu bwino. Echo nabate mwena ko ba mayo wandi wa Mumbi Phiri chintu chimo pamula ndo akutirati. As for me, it's more like my teacher, because even in 2006, we were campaigning together during CF to and pair footed Dukuma Kunkoloma Kuva Nurongo Chilimokuya Panga Pamiabo, Pacheston Paravare Kara to campaign Pamo. So we have some Bishama politics. My own day on backwards into Chimo for Evan to Akuma Ditoa, Darana to Chula, Kuria Baba UPND Kadazi. If you never saw a president, apa riponse po banyanta ba PF ngaliko family jim PF nishavena president kula tampa ukula nyanta mu so nde private factory amakadazi ba UPND mudama PF mu apera ma prosi ba means of land value study galazing sai shiva legalization of meaning legalization of meaning abara abantu ma setting tenant ba means of land apera ma paper nomba kwa ba makadazi ba tampa kula funyamu ama details y'abantu. For example, we mutu alikala panganda ukuya kufunyisha positionary obi bazika positionary ya muntu mbi then ule muntu aisana kukutobere nganda. The example imbi wa Brian wa Pacheston big market varava lema varekala pass station varia vale toro tumakoni bakule nganda yabo paso vali fava UPND kadazi nguluve andi milanzo kuya batobere nganda just cause naba kwa taxes ya kumiso brand kuchingeshina during legalization. Abantu barero tama paper yafumira ama paper tampo kulafumira mu UPND kadazi barama city internals kutampo kulabe bati plain times 2 gatamulipira tule mufinshapo. So please apapata wa president Brian Mutubireri bale some power if tulefu abaka save change abantu nabo babatobera manda kuma UPND kadazi that even court if permission kuseka kavyani katobeni just cause ibada chizama names kuria kumis of brand. Please mwata papata please aba UPND tabakwete uluse ku bantu nombanga twabeke shapo ni yangama ndabaka toba kuno kuma didowati all over media seni kuma didowati ida shinera Pacheston police deputy senior CEO police na ishiberi ashi aba bantu tabebekata. I don't know why.
Thank
so
you.
Please polisi va masamba please to apapata tukaterengo abantu abalitobera abantu amanda. That is the court permit napera mayo ande kura kuma tuwa abantu abakabwekere panto ngabwekera bakatobera abantu abengi amayanda.
Tatasha King Fred.
King Fred, you know this is something very very serious. Elo na muikala mulera that there are no cadres. But the sad part, iwewe UPND cadre, your president has said you are on your own. Olo whether you like it or not, ubuteko bule chinja, you feel you face the consequences alone. Elo bazaki, if you are under, this is something serious. As journalists, please make a follow-up. Kuchelston police, how can people start taking the law in their own hands? Ata kumushukumwe esikuchinsari kwa chipumpu kwa chivesa kundoko nafuma. Umuntu kushaba ma title deeds tetesa ntobere nganda ashtisha kuli umbi. It doesn't happen like this. Do they want to change this country into a banana republic? Bazaki, I'll make a follow-up with you. Please highlight this to the nation. Abantu bale fuira mukati. Intimidation na ichiramo ndemieba. Abantu badizi. If you're ndemieba, that how sure are you will get my election aya 100%? Because ngole tinya abana na ngwimwe bene bazaki. Let your children respect you. not fearing you. Alaba nanga balekula balekutina wishi bati walobedi auma, because you don't know what they are thinking. Mumfwe, and please, I'm begging you, highlight this thing miye kuchoston police muye nakuma dido mumone so that mukeseranga abantu pamulabasa. Thank you.
We would like to take some more calls, but because of time, I will take you into our conclusion. And I would like us to conclude in a manner that probably will help Zambians make a decision whether to vote for Tonse Alliance or not. But what the Zambians are saying is, most of them are saying you don't seem to have better offers.
It's you who is saying that. Wherever I've gone so far,
most Zambians are not decided.
No.
Whether on Tonse or UPND, because especially from the opposition, they don't seem to be getting tangible a message that will convince them to make a decision.
It depends whom you're talking to. Me, the people I've been talking to, we have been doing this for a very long time. We went underground a long time. Ngani kumwe swefiri abalanda. Ati bushewe kashishi waingirire kui. What has happened? Tuwaingirire kubuluba. A lot of people have regretted, especially lies. Abantu bale bepaya, you are pretending that there are no cadres. Pretense, at least abantu ngabale mfoko na buino. People are living in fear. Mwebantu, this leadership, most of the people here, they are tested. Morefo efintu ifya nyu, ukweba ati, tutampe afresh, ulupato luluachilamo. Ba mori mpantu ba dina boku nursery school, ba dina boku secondary school, ba dina boku university, ludio lupato nomba luachitana engulf the entire nation. Think of the things, abnormal things ifile chitika Mzambia. Bushemu haitala mumfapo. Iwa wingirire mofena ngu. Tauli nomo. Kuti baya sende chitumbi chabanoko. Baya lepula bachita post-mortem. Banoko badi, let's say 67. Ule chita post-mortem wadi 40. Is that normal? Nangufye muntambishe suna tradition. Is it normal? Ukweba tikutimu abula ulupo lady, the widow and the children, you take them to court. Aba lady da. If you toa if you mfuira ku Kenya, na ku Nigeria, if you fise muno Mzambia, mwebantu, tonton kanyeni, think of when you go to the hospital, if you muleshitafye na drip, think of how imwa mwebale ya mkupapa, mwelele, mkulase ndama bucket. Kuya na yoku chipatala. Ififyonse fintu mufile mwafitontonkanya. Mwafitontonkanya, mwaingiriramu, mwalitaliramu monapo. Ba homosexual ama lesbian wale chita demonstrate wakapokola wale bashindika. Bushodi omulandu wafika pesa. Ifimule monaba umena abasuba kalasonga ine fino subire kalaso. Mwalitalira mufimonapo bale sunsha no kusunsha bale enda abantu bale batamba. What type of generation do you want your children bazak to grow up in? This environment, are you okay with it? The choice is yours. Basata bale tira akoni kekala pamsamboka katemenwe.
Lakalaba not long ago spoke about why he has not decided to join the alliance or endorse. First of all, he says, I can't endorse because I'm on the ballot, but by not joining the alliance, he categorically said, and I'll bring this issue back to what you said earlier. He has categorically put it that it is the people that are in this alliance that scares him. The people he left in the PF when he resigned because of what he didn't like, whatever it is that was going on in the Patriotic Front, and he left. These people he left are surrounding Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu, and he is very particular about it. I can't blame him, because if you can point out that it was a particular minister who removed meal allowances at the university, and I can see that very former minister around Mundubile, I should be worried. Because it means that there is potential that that decision can come back.
Harry Calabar has a democratic right of whom to endorse or not to endorse. I can't speak of how he's thinking. We have endorsed the candidature of Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu. Why? Because I believe in him. I believe in both of them. Calabar also has his democratic right. He can do as he wishes. I can't speculate. I can't speak on his behalf. It's his birthright. He's a Zambian. He can do what he wants.
When you said you are changing the approach, plan B is the young, the vibrant. But these are surrounded by the very dainted individuals.
I don't know whom
the
you can
elderly.
No, I don't know.
I mean, you would want to question the plan B if it's cladded by the plan that didn't work.
Let me tell you, you can't put everybody in one basket. We are all individuals. And when I say the young, I'm not saying the old should be discarded. No, there are some genuine elder people who can be used with their knowledge. It's not everybody. And that choice is made by the president when he's choosing his cabinet. Let's wait and see. We see whom is going to put in his cabinet. But we have old people who are so clean, who are so genuine, that can work. We have to combine the old and the young. But you know what I believe in is to promote more young people. You know the challenge we have in this country. That's why we even have a succession dispute. We are not doing it like the way Tanzania was doing it. The only one who has messed up is this woman. But they had the proper succession, way of doing things. It wasn't a scramble for all. So when I'm saying I'm supporting young people, I know they are genuine, old people, clean people, visionary people. So the combination should be the old and the young. But I'll support the young at the top so that as the old phases out, the young ones will not be stranded.
29 days from now, we will be voting.
Yes.
Are you expectant to win?
Definitely. This election...
Are you ready as well to accept the loss?
We have lost before and we have accepted. So that's not a problem.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for coming.
And vote wisely.
Of course. And thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much. I hope you invite me again.
Well, I hope so. I hope before the 13th of August.
Yes.
Or after.
Yes.
So I would like to speak to you in both tiers.
Yeah.
And in whether you win because you'll be shedding tears in disbelief,
me,
or you lose because you'll be shedding tears because you've lost. Please accept my invitation.
No, listen, you know me, your mother. Fiwame Filipe, God is there. You remember it's you. I was the first one to come when I came out of Mongu prison.
Yes.
And me, I'm a believer, and I know that if Yakainde wins, then God has allowed it. I can't dispute. Even when I came out of prison, it's you who interviewed me. Was I in tears? That's why sinidira monga bamuna bakainde ichile babadira. I was incarcerated for 129 days. Pakabawita baisabe, but we have a heroine in Mumbi Phiri. 429 days. Dadira no kudira. So that is me. In bad and in good, I'll come.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. To you, our listener, thank you very much for having followed our conversation, and for those that managed to come through and participated, we appreciate. But more sincerely, I appreciate our partner media houses and, of course, those that carried this program live. We are grateful to Isunga Radio in Senga Hill, thankful to Platinum Radio in Ndola, and of course Tuta FM in Mansa. Grateful to ZFM in Kapiri and Spice FM in Kabwe, and not forgetting Katete FM in Eastern Province. Also BMTV for carrying this program live on their platform. Until this Thursday, please do join Uncle Frank or Ambassador Frank Mtwila this Thursday when he comes with yet another edition of The Burning Issue. And again, it is the Tonse Alliance, and Chairman in charge of finance, Mtoto Kafwaya, will be his guest. Don't miss that one. So from all of us is take care of yourselves and more so of each other. Bye-bye.
The views and opinions expressed